Welcome to Out of Frame, the podcast that goes beyond traditional media into a conversation where we build strategy, connectivity, and innovation into the digital media. I'm Ghada El-Kari. I'll be hosting a very powerful conversation between two visionary leaders, Mohamad Ballout from Kitopi and Habib Wehbi from W Group Holding. We will be diving into See Eat Repeat campaign, a very strong collaboration that redefined how food delivery, digital engagement, and powerful media can reshape how people connect with brands. So welcome to our podcast, and let's dive into it. First of all, I mean, everybody was talking about this campaign. We were overtaking the city of Dubai. Can you give us a bit of how did this whole idea come up to life?
So this campaign started actually a few months ago on a hiking trail in Hatta. I don't know if you remember that chat we had where I presented Habib with a problem statement. And that was, we as a company have been very shy to open up the curtain and tell the whole world that behind these brands is Kitopi. And that our entire budget is going into all these different sub-brands that we own. They're very proud owners of a lot of the very famous brands in the region. But behind those brands is Kitopi, and we didn't know how to bring this to life. And so I went to Habib and said, listen, our challenge is we've only been investing our budgets on mainly digital, some minor out of home. But what we would like to do is find a way to invest in out of home across all these brands. And then he went silent for a bit. And then a couple of few kilometers up the hike, and Habib being breathless, he looked at me. He's like, "Why don't you invest in the brand Kitopi?" That's kind of set the conversation, and ultimately that's what we were trying to do. Into going from investing in a series of brands into now focusing on investing into our core brand, but we always found a reason why it might not be the right time, and I think we just needed that nudge over where we went and thought, you know what, there's never going to be a perfect time to do it. We want the whole world to know that behind all these brands is Kitopi, and what brings it together is this really magical experience and bring hospitality into all our brands and trying to unify some form of that experience. And so what's a better way to do it than to tell the whole world, hey guys, we're here and we're going to give you a lot of our best brands at an extremely affordable price, and we're going to give you a reach and you're going to see us in every way, every part of your daily life. And so yeah, I think Habib originated the idea, but then we went a couple of times back and forth saying, how could this be the biggest thing, in the city for the 10 days? We had a third partner, Talabat, who was open to that idea. And then I think we cooked it up in a way that made it super powerful. And again, the goal was, how do we bring Kitopi to life for the first time? How do we let the whole world know that behind these brands is Kitopi? And how do we be very loud by doing it? And
there's no better way to be loud than using W Group, right, Habib?
Honestly, we brainstormed a couple of times, but Mohamad phoned me one day and he said, see, eat, and repeat. And I immediately went to, okay, then Hypermedia we can see the brand through Hypermedia. You can eat different brands from Kitopi, and you can repeat from Talabat. That's the combination that he came up in order to make sure that the message was there. Definitely the pricing played a big role in that as well. I saw a big potential of what can be done through our digital screens over Sheikh Zayed Road. So the idea that Mohamad came up with, combining the fee and come up with, honestly, a product. You can say that a product where people enjoy, people were talking about it, people were asking about it. Honestly, we as Hypermedia receive calls to make a delivery for. So that was honestly one of the best campaigns that we run over our vegetables.
And that takes us to coming up with the concept. I mean, C is Hypermedia, Eat is Kitopi, and Repeat is the delivery with Talabat. A very powerful dynamic that delivers a very attractive meal to consumers on daily basis. As mentioned, we've received calls that for the past from 7 to 16 April, all what they've eaten, morning, lunch, and dinner, it was the 10-10-10, which is 10 days, 10 restaurants, 10 dirhams. How do you see this can be moving forward, given unprecedented, I think, results came up of this campaign? It's more than 600,000 meals for 10 days. I mean, this is a big number, and more than 100,000 new customers. I think this is overachieved. A campaign overachieves. Can you tell us what was the right component, in your opinion?
I think we had definitely the right product. And this is the definition of product market fit, right? So we had the right product, giving customers exactly what they want. And then we just made sure from an accessibility, we had Talabat make sure that they can always deliver with the right experience. And then we had Hypermedia as a partner who made sure that everybody knows about this campaign instantly, because it was a short campaign. And I think the combination of these three made it work. But it did trigger us to think now that we need to do so much more. And as a company, as Kitopi, beyond just investing in our sub-brands, we need to move that budget towards investing in Kitopi, the brand. The challenge we have is we didn't have a precedent of another company that's done the same thing. If you think about it, there's no multi-brand operator that has invested in the group versus invested in just these sub-brands. And it comes with its own set of risks. So our view is like, okay, how do we bring something to life, and what's the value we can bring to customers, where if we mention behind the scenes, this is Kitopi bringing you this experience. On one side, we're not taking the shine away from the brands. They need to be the ones shining. But at the same time, we want to be in a place where we tell customers, you can trust us. This is Kitopi doing this campaign. Kitopi owns these brands. We're going to deliver a certain type of experience. There's a certain standard on quality that we're going to abide by. And that's what we're trying to achieve out of this whole idea of like bringing Kitopi to the forefront of it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a lot more Kitopi campaigns. So what we learned from this is our ROIs on investing on Kitopi as a brand, where it brings over our sub-brands, is far more powerful than if we just invest that in sub-brands. Now you need to do both, but it's just something we were always shy and afraid to do. And I think we're now just much more confident, given the numbers, to just double down and keep doing this.
Great. Habib, I mean, we know that we've used in this campaign different touch points, media touch points, whether it's on Sheikh Zayed Road, which is a very powerful statement. And we've used the malls, the communities, Inox stations as well. How much do you believe that making a fully integrated exposure is important for a successful campaign to shout Kitopi brand or others?
Ghada, if you remember 3 years back, we worked 24/7 for the past maybe 2 to 3 years to be able to reach this stage of digitization where brands can take advantage of what we did and run such campaigns that Kitopi did the last month. Let's call it takeover Dubai. That's how you take over Dubai. By being in different major touch points, from Sheikh Zayed Road to Jabal Ali, to being between the major malls, how you connect and integrate the screens together. So there's behind the beautiful screens that we have, there's a lot of technical parts that it took us a long time to know how to integrate them and how to use them in the right way. Now we're in a stage where we want brands like Kitopi and other brands like Kitopi to take advantage of what we created for the last 3 years. So I hope brands saw what we did, saw the success story behind this campaign, and we are hungry for more campaigns like this to be present in our screens, because that was the main objective of the group.
And let's not forget, we used also Dubai metro stations and the trains. And we believe that this is a very powerful, of course, delivering to the mass. I mean, Dubai metro alone, on daily basis, you have 100,000s of daily commuters. And that where also you can target the mass, whether through the business day or through the other side of the city. And this is where you can really leverage and amplify the message. Now we come to technology, because I think this is the hot topic nowadays in marketing. How technology is really an added value, whether through a food delivery or through a digital out of home. What this can benefit the brands and how people should look into digital out of home investment and marketing.
I think the challenge we had on why historically we did very little out of home spend is we couldn't really understand the ROI really well. While it's very clear to look at your conversion on digital spend, it's not that clear on out of home spend. And getting a campaign wrong can be just very costly. So that's kind of something we battled with as a company. It's like, do we want to be investing much, and what's the real value of investing that much? How much do you want to put in brand awareness versus bottom of the funnel activations? And so what's developing now from a tech perspective is the ability to really understand the impressions we're getting, unique users we're getting. And I think that's giving us a little more confidence to do more of this, beyond the fact that we've seen the value of going digital only versus an integrated campaign and the value that's come out of that. So I think the conclusion from our side is that striking the right balance is important. And the more we can get data on the effectiveness of these campaigns, the more likely we are to spend more and to understand that customer base more.
So, Habib, I know this is your obsession, technology, and now you are really building it into the group, and specifically for Hypermedia. How can we answer brands like Kitopi and others of the importance of ROI, return of investment, and data and measurement?
I do believe ROI comes not only from the digital out of home. It's the combination of how you use the out of home, the banana business, and the technologies that is available in this stuff. So we, through the presence of Hypermedia, through Dexter, through the technologies that we are getting to do, it's all about how you integrate all these elements together to come up with the return of investment for the campaign that you go. And I guess this is what Kamak and Kitopi did. Their campaign, it was amazing because it was there was a lot of factors involved as well, other than the professionalism that I think all parties showed during that period. It's the integration between the out of home, the online, the influencers, and the food process itself and the delivery. It's all technology based, and it's all the future that it's coming, not in the far future, but really very near future, I guess.
The now future.
The now.
And we've also, Kitopi used also influencers. So how do you believe that this has really added on the engagement, viewership, relevancy? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's part of building out that integrated campaign. I mean, if you think about it, we play in a very crowded space. There's 40,000 restaurants in the city of Dubai alone. So how do you stand out? And if you were just to push our sub-brands, you need to keep pushing, because every day, every customer makes a decision 3 times a day of what they're going to eat. Sometimes more than that, but most people 3 times a day. So you got to be top of mind every single time. With 40,000 competitors out there, how do you win? So first thing we did was, okay, what if we were to focus on Kitopi as an ecosystem versus just the sub-brands? That's one push. But then also, how to make sure that across all touch points, we're top of mind. Mm-hmm. So not just on digital, paid digital, but in every way and form, we want to be top of mind to make sure that we're able to communicate to the world what we are doing. And so that's why I do think the use of paid ads, influencers, and out of home, and that the integration of all three, communicating the same message, has helped a lot. And that's something we will continue to do. And I do think, depending on what you're trying to achieve, you may want to use as a variety of these different ad methods. And I think that when we're launching something more smaller, I do think you don't probably need an out-of-home campaign for it. You can focus on just influencers. So I do think it depends on your strategy. But whenever we are doing a relatively large campaign, the integration of all three is what seems to be the best approach.
So can you give us like an anecdote? Maybe you tell us what was happening in the kitchen with the 60,000 order daily. How did you manage that?
So first, the goal I had for the team was, if we cross 500,000, it's a massive success. And in their mind, anything over 200,000 orders, and that was a big success. And it definitely ramped up. And I think that what was very important, and the learning we had, was to be able to push that across a lot of brands versus just one brand, because it was just a lot of volumes. And our goal was not just to create volumes. Our goal was to create an amazing experience where customers can come back. And that's why we really tried to manage it really well. But it was insane. It was a very, very crazy 10 days. But we built a muscle for this now. We built a muscle to understand how to manage peaks much better, and how to make sure that we're working with partners who can deliver food in a very efficient way. And we'll be doing more of these campaigns.
So do you believe this CE repeat campaign really was a leap into how Kitopi as a brand, given that this was maybe the first brand campaign as a Kitopi, how people look at Kitopi as a brand versus restaurants?
I think this was our first attempt on it. I think one campaign is definitely not enough. Or what we realized is, if we get somehow from here to the end of the year, the message over that this is what Kitopi is, we would have been successful. And so every month we have a series of initiatives we're running to help bring this message home.
So I think, Habib, consistency is a key, right? To build a brand.
Absolutely. When I believe doing this, from our point of view, I think this campaign should be done strategically couple of times and then for a couple of times. But I want to tell Mohamad that we're always there for such campaigns. And we would love to always be part of this success. So count us.
So, Mohamad, what's next for Kitopi?
So we realized that running tactical campaigns alone is not what we will do only. So by August this year, we should cross 100,000 monthly active users on our Kitopi app. That's something we've never talked about. And our app is predominantly focused on driving dine-in traffic. We have one of the best loyalty apps in town. And our goal now is, how do we make people understand that beyond the fact that we own all these brands, there's also something very powerful that stitches it all together that we're going to do more of. So I think the next set of campaigns for us are talking about our loyalty campaign, our loyalty app, and all the benefits customers can get by being on this app.
And Habib, can you give us a glimpse of what's coming next for the group?
Next, we're launching one of the biggest technology. It's an AI technology related to the out-of-home business. We'll keep the details for the 20th of May, but we are proud, and I'm proud to say that it started from Dubai, and it's going to go.
Exciting news. Just to wrap up, I think this collaboration gave a perfect example how Kitopi as a brand can start with an idea, a spark of an idea, and it can amplify to be a much bigger conversation all over the city through the right partners and with the right partners, delivering amazing results. So we thank you a lot for that. Thank you for your time and for believing in this collaboration. And we can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, I'm very proud to be partnering up with you guys. I think our whole team had amazing experience with the professionalism of the team, and can't wait to see your launch on 20th May and see how we can really advance beyond just the digital screens into something much more integrated.
Thank you, Kumat. Thank you for trusting us. Kitopi has been our client for a couple of years now, and I think we're looking forward to more collaboration in the near future as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Magran people.